Hello once again and welcome back to another episode of Father and Sundays, the unexplainable guide to absolutely nothing. This week is episode 101.
It is 101. Can't believe it.
Yep. And we are talking about our little fluffy friends, dogs.
Not cats.
No, not cats, dogs.
Excellent.
So stick around if you want to hear more. Well, hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello, good evening and welcome to you too, Connor. How the devil are you?
And you too, David, aka Dad.
Oh, I don't like it when you call me David.
What's your name?
It is my name, yes.
Yeah, but I'm just introducing you.
Okay, that's fair enough. How the devil are
Because
you?
you're my dad. How the devil am I?
How are you?
I'm
Let's not overcomplicate things.
I'm okay. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm all right. I've been off this week still. Still got a couple of days before, quite a few days before I have to go back to work. But yeah, a couple of days of this week before I head off to up north. So yes, I'm just trying to get a few bits and pieces done. I think I'm going to have my haircut tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm planning quite a lot of stuff when you go up north.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
What are you doing when I'm up
Party.
north? Are you?
Yep. Everyone's invited.
Are they? Except me, obviously.
Yes.
Yes. What sort of party is it?
It's the Father and Sunday's 100 episode party.
No way you wouldn't do that to me.
No, I wouldn't do that
I'm
to
sure
you.
you wouldn't.
But we did have a 100 episode party, didn't we?
Did we?
Yes.
Yes, it was great, wasn't
Yeah.
it? I just can't remember because I was so wasted.
Yeah, we went to Nan's for roast dinner.
It was just us two and your mum and your nan.
And Mum doesn't even listen to the podcast.
Yes, no, it was a great celebration. I
did
mean,
enjoy it. Though. It was very nice.
I did eat a lot. I ran there as well.
It was Easter. It was Easter weekend.
Yeah, it was Easter weekend, so
We
it was
had
very nice.
Easter Sunday roast.
Yes, it was a lovely dinner, and also
Nan's. I'm sorry, but Nan's roasts are still the best.
the afters were just kept coming and coming. And
Yeah.
just when you thought you'd eaten
think I
all
had
the
about-
afters, apple crumble
I think I
came
had
in.
about 3 or 4 portions of the pavlova thing, and then I had 2 portions of the apple crumble.
Well, I had trifle.
And I also had 3 servings of the roast
Oh, no,
dinner.
this is ridiculous. It was like I should have run back. I don't know about run there.
Oh yeah, you ran there, didn't you? Because
Yeah,
you're doing
I
a
ran.
marathon this coming weekend.
I'm doing a marathon this Sunday coming, or the next Sunday after this. I'm going to be doing.
hell was
No,
that?
I was just trying to work out my time frame then. So actually, when this goes out,
Yeah, you'll be doing a marathon.
I
that
will
day.
be in Manchester, waking up in my hotel room, a few hours off going and running around Manchester, which I was looking at the route to today. So
Are you staying in a hotel the night before?
I'm staying in a hotel the night before. I'm staying with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law either
before
side of that. Yeah, so
On the way back as well.
on the way back because it might be a bit
When you
too
finish
much
Manchester
to
Marathon,
drive.
you then go into Bradford.
So when I finish Manchester Marathon, I'll go back to Bradford, stay the night on the Sunday night, and then make my way back home on Monday.
They've got cat.
They have got a cat.
I can't remember how many cats.
I think.
So I just went with. They've got cat.
They got cat. They got cat. Yeah. Ain't got dog. Ain't got cat.
They ain't got dog.
Ain't got dog.
You
No.
got cat.
Cat. Right.
We got cat.
We got cat.
We got cat and cat.
We got cat.
No dog
No
anymore.
dog. No dog.
No. Dog
No.
dead.
well, that
It's
is
true.
true. That is true. But yes, yeah. So that's something to kind of look forward to, I guess. We've got other stuffs going on. We've talked about you being on top of the shed, did we? But we've
Yeah, I
actually.
laid down. And I've been telling people at work about me laying on the shed. They go, "What did you do on your Easter weekend?" I laid on the shed, and I also flushed a toilet and watched it go down the drain.
Yeah, brilliant. That's from last week's episode.
And then they went. I did that on my meeting this morning with my team, because I'd already mentioned it to other people, but my boss was like, just smiled at me and went, "Really?" I went, "Yeah." She went, "Anything else?" I went, "That's pretty much it." She was waiting for more.
Well, it's been where
There
we
is
are.
no more.
Where we are today, it's been horrible, and it's getting really windy, and it's very rainy. So I've been periodically checking the shed because although we put the felt on the top of it and took the cones off, it looks more like a normal shed, but it is not fastened down properly, not in all areas. So, I'm half expecting to look out there and it look like someone's done a comb over with felt on the top of the shed. But there we go. Other things been doing, I've been starting to write the wedding speech, the father of the bride speech. And did you notice I did put something out to your sister,
on
my
Facebook,
daughter, yes. And there was a couple of sort of laughing comments on that. And then there was a comment from the grandparent of the nan of the groom who said...
The grandparents of the nan of the groom?
No, not the grandparents of the nan of the groom. The nan of the groom, which said, short and sweet, ? I'm not quite sure how to take that.
The joke?
I don't know. I think perhaps she wants me not to do a very long speech.
Maybe.
Yes. Well, I'm not going to do that.
It's now going to be 20 minutes long.
20 minutes long with slides. Right. Yeah. Anyway.
Slides of your life, not Becky's.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Leading up to Becky's life.
This is me when I went skiing.
Yes. This is me on the top of the Empire State Building. This is me doing something else like I did.
Weighing off the edge of the Empire State Building.
This is me up on stage playing with my band. This is this, that, and the other. Anyway. Anything you need to bring up at the beginning of this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Right, so this week, we've done an episode already called Pets, which was way back. I don't really think it was quite a long while ago, which we talked about, funny enough, pets, but we talked about all sorts of pets. And we did have interviews with our pets at the time, which was very interesting, most amusing. But obviously, we wanted to talk specifically about, and I'm going to keep this on the quiet because there was 2 cats outside. They've been doing a demonstration, and they've
been protesting today, haven't they? They went in the room, and one of them sat on the seat I need to sit on to actually do the stuff for the podcast, like to where the all the music stuff is, and that in my office chair. And wouldn't move. So I had to bring another chair in there. So, yeah, they're not very happy that we're doing an episode just about dogs. It's fitting to do an episode about dogs, though, isn't it? Because...
it was World Pet Day yesterday.
Okay.
Just throw that in.
That was why I was going to say.
Why is it?
Because Bilbo passed away. When this podcast released, just under a year ago, 2 days off of it, he died on the 18th of April.
And Bilbo being we've had 2 dogs as a family, but he was the second one, who was actually our pet. We actually bought him. We'll go through this in a minute because I was just going to touch on
the term adopted him.
Okay, we adopted him for money.
Yep.
Right. If that makes it sound nicer for you.
Our cats were cheaper.
Yes. I'm going to take one of them. I'm going to take back. There's something wrong with it.
Maui was £50.
Was he?
Yeah, he was rather cheap.
It's kind of a token thing, isn't it?
It is a token thing. It's more of a
how old?
Because
how much was Moana?
Oh, I think she was about 70, 80 or something like that.
Really? How do people calculate the money for these things?
In reality, for both Maui and Moana, in reality, Maui was a bit older, so he wasn't. And black cats aren't generally people. They're not as desirable, are they?
No, they still steer.
And they're a lot more photogenic than he used to be because cameras have got better. Although that picture you sent me earlier on of just his eyes.
Yeah, just send you a picture. And it's like one of those ones when people say, you won't believe it. Look in the back of they didn't know what was happening in the back of the picture, and then you've got this really weird face in one of the corners. Because
quite often from the other end of the room, he's just pure black, but you could just see his eyes.
Yeah, he just opens his eyes, or if he yawns, you see his glint of his teeth.
But he was a bit older, and you kind of a little bit pay as a token thing, but also like Mum haggled it down. By the way, it was meant to be more than 50, and the family couldn't have him. So it wasn't like we were just going out and buying a kitten from kitten breeders. Both of the cats we got were just from pets that just happened to get pregnant, so they needed to get rid of them somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Maui was like they needed to get rid of the cat, so we got a cat for £50.
Oh yeah,
and Moana again was they just had a litter of kittens.
Yeah,
and
can you see what's happening here? We're starting to call cats now. They've done it.
Damn it,
cats! Damn you, cat.
Anyway, Dogs, though.
Dogs. So, just to recap, because I know
They're
we've
a
covered
bit like
this.
cats, but
Bigger.
not
Well,
always.
not all of them. No.
I know someone who I work with who's got a miniature dachshund, and that's not very big.
A miniature
Yeah.
dachshund. Really?
Yeah.
How big's that then?
In
the shape, if you think about fruit.
I'm going to
Banana?
say 2 melons.
Oh, no, that's not good because melons come in all different sizes.
I'm going to measure it in hot dogs because that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would say I've never met the dog, but I've seen lots of pictures of the dog. And I would say...
But you've met the person, so surely you can get a scale from that.
No, but the person's really little too.
Yeah, I know, but then you can work that one out as well.
Yeah, because the dog looks really small in her hands, and then her hands
she's
are really small.
so the dog's minute.
Yeah. So I'm going to say probably about 4 jars of hot dogs, maybe 3.
Now, that was weird that you put them back in the jars to then measure them. I thought you were going to measure them by just the hot dogs. Strange. Anyway, right.
All right.
So,
well, in that case, then it would be...
End to end, how many hot dogs?
End to end? Oh, 2.5, 3.
Wow.
Not the little hot dogs. Not the ones you get with beans.
They're not really hot dogs.
They're really hot.
They're not very nice. I used to really want those all the time.
They
and
look
really,
all
when
right.
you have them, they
They
very
look
disappointing.
better than what they are.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely
Yeah.
that. But they're not like hot dogs. They're like little sausages. They're like cocktail sausages, which are not hot dogs. They're doing it again. We're talking about the sausages now. Right. Okay. So we have had...
Dogs like sausages.
They do. Especially our second dog. But we'll go for our first dog first of all. So I'd never had a dog.
See, the thing is, this dog, you can't say we particularly owned it.
No. So...
Sorry, spoilers.
I never had a dog. And my family did, but before I was born,
And then they decided,
had to rehouse.
he's too much work.
Yeah, I will get a child. They swapped the dog for me.
Yeah.
But
For £50.
so when
that was a lot
obviously
back in your day.
it was. So when there was talk of because your mum has always had dogs, so when there was talk about getting a dog, then you I think were with her and you looked into getting a guide dog puppy.
Dogs. So the interesting thing about the guide dog puppy, so we did have a guide dog puppy, and the reason we got the guide dog puppy, I think, was a couple of different influences, but one of which being I used to love Blue Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. They had a guide dog puppy on Blue Peter, and they've had a number of them.
They've got an affiliation with them, haven't
yeah.
they?
And Andy used to present it. He had one in particular at the time, and they would tell you about guide dog events. And there was a guide dog event happening in Basildon.
Oh, right.
So we went to it, and yeah, we just came across all these different things, and Mum actually started to look at it, and
When she looks at something, it usually happens, doesn't
and
it?
yeah. But you know what?
What?
It was excellent.
Oh, right.
Like,
I thought
as
you were
in-
launching into your mum, when she goes to a guide dog
She gets one.
She gets
No,
one.
but it's one of those things. It was difficult, and it was probably more difficult for Mum than anyone else because she kind of took the reins of it. You were working full time. Mum was. I don't actually know what she did at the time.
I don't know. I don't think she was at the bank anymore, so she might have been doing things like Pampers Chef or Avon or something like that before she became a childminder. I don't think she was a childminder.
No, she was before she was a childminder, yeah. Because I was about year 4, I think.
Yeah, because we came and picked you up from school, and I think I was holding the puppy at the time. But I remember distinctly because someone came round to check the house out because I have to, and it's. They say it's sort of probably a year. I think for us it was about 18 months that we had. And her name was.
Over a year.
And her name was.
Her name was Kate.
Yes, we always called her Katie.
We got told to.
Yeah, but
We got told to call her Katie unless she'd been bad, and they call her Kate.
Really, I didn't realise that. But I don't know if people might know this, but obviously what they do with batches of puppies when they're looking for people to take them on, they just have the letter of the alphabet. A batch of puppies. They have a letter of the alphabet. So along with that, with Kate would have been other dogs with letter K's as their name.
Like what?
Keith.
And
Kim.
And
Kevin.
And
Keanu. Anyway, right. And so I can remember being at home when she was brought in, and it was, talk about melt your heart.
She was really cute. The thing is, I'll be honest, I don't really have a great memory of my childhood.
Anything, yeah. Very dark. It's a very dark childhood. That's
it was very dark time for me. It's because I used to come home, they used to turn all the lights off.
It's very troubling. We kept moving, kept finding us. Yeah, but that was interesting because you had to. I was going to say subject her, but it was to a certain degree. The idea that we were training this puppy seemed like quite a big thing for me, but really you were just exposing her to noises and experiences, like take her on a train, take her near the airport. We lived not far from an airport. I think she was taken over to the airport because obviously the planes coming and going.
You do basic training, don't you? So you do stuff like sit down.
Yeah.
You teach them when to go to the toilet as well. That's an important one. Busy.
That was it.
You used to teach them when to go to the toilet. You used to teach them the command for slow down, the command for speed up, all these different like little commands. When it actually comes to guiding a blind person, that was done by the professionals. But we also, like you said, we had to take her to a lot of places. Like, because she was a guide dog puppy, it followed the same rules as a guide dog.
Yeah.
So I remember we took her to, we take her on buses, we take her on trains, you take her into shops.
Yeah.
Because you're allowed to.
Yeah.
And you're actually encouraged to. We took her to, I think we still didn't necessarily do that all the time because, you know,
no, it's not necessary all the time. But
it's just like every now and then. But we took her to the Tower of London.
We did take her to the Tower of London because we had pictures taken where the beefeaters were making a fuss. Yeah, making a fuss of her. I think. Yeah, because again, it was just to go up to London. It's a lot of noises, lots of different smells and almost stimulation. I think it is.
The only thing about that is it's probably a really horrible thing to say, but because they were quite strict and we need to do these commands, need to make sure you did it right and stuff like that, she couldn't have tennis balls, could she? She wasn't allowed tennis balls because you might chase them in the park. There was lots of little things that she was only specific things she was allowed to do.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
And because obviously we were kids, there was a lady that come around basically tell us what we can and can't do.
Yeah.
We referred to her as the scary dog lady.
Scary dog lady, yeah. Well, she's a lovely lady, but
she was a lovely lady, but
she obviously
she's just a little bit strict.
Because she wanted to make sure whoever was taking responsibility.
There was like guide dog meet-up events and stuff like that. I remember going to a meet-up event with lots of other guide dog puppies there. There was also... We also, because of the affiliation with that, we looked after other people's guide dog puppies, like when they went on holiday.
And when we went away, we were able to rehouse her
because I remember
a week or so.
she went like somewhere else for a week, and it was sorted out by the guide dog people.
Yeah.
But she went somewhere else for a week, and we came back, and she was massive.
Yes, she
was.
She
literally grew in like a week.
But then her story, I mean, she's a lovely dog. Connor, there's a song about her, wasn't there? So
we wrote a song about her. Once we gave her away, because Becky tried to
encourage her to do all the things because she wanted her to foul. Because there is a case where that if a guide dog then goes to the intensive training, which for Katie was in Edinburgh or in Scotland, she might not pass it. If she doesn't pass it, they look to rehome her, and the potential is that they might go back to the people that had her as a puppy and say, do you wish to have this dog? In which case it would come back. And I think in Becky's head she thought if she could encourage her to do all things she's not supposed to do,
she wasn't allowed,
get her back.
Because she wasn't allowed on the sofa, she wasn't allowed upstairs and stuff like that. And it wasn't that she wasn't allowed upstairs, we had to put a gate on it. It was more like she wasn't allowed upstairs, so like you had to train her without a gate and stuff like that. Because the whole point, Although a lot of people do that with dogs anyway, but it's nothing special. But and then she went over to Scotland.
She went to Scotland. We had a bizarre phone call from them with her in the background. Apparently, I wouldn't have been able to tell if it was her or not. And then she was placed with someone in Newcastle, a man in Newcastle, and was his guide dog. So it's a wonderful, really thing to do. Was quite difficult seeing her go, but then I don't know how long afterwards we got our actual dog, which was a family pet, which was a Springer Spaniel, called Bilbo. episode 99, Chocolate, I said that the Cadbury's factory was situated in Manchester. It is, of course, in Birmingham. I was thinking of the time they sponsored Corrie.
Fact check.
So Bilbo, he was he 12 when he died?
I believe he was, yes.
Yeah, he was going to be 13 that year, wasn't he?
Yeah. So, again...
Born in 2009. He was born and we got him in 2009. And he... Yeah.
It was interesting.
The year I started secondary school.
There was interest in perhaps getting another dog. So I think you lot went off to
Mum decided that she wanted one. But like you said earlier, if Mum decides she wants something, then
so she said, I'm going to go off and have a look.
So we went
and then you come back with a dog.
So Bilbo was born on a farm. Now, we're not talking about a puppy farm. He was born on an actual farm. Like they had farm dogs. They had a number of dogs, free roam pretty much everywhere.
They looked lovely, like really, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, didn't go, but I think you saw pictures of it, and it was all very much... we were told he's Springer Spaniel, but in reality, there was a number of dogs on that farm, so there's a good chance that he could also had a bit of border collie in him.
He didn't look completely Springer.
Or maybe even a Dalmatian. That Auntie Ivy used to say that. Has he got a little bit of Dalmatian? And then he'd walk away, and then he'd walk back again, and then she'd say it again. He was so funny because he was a Springer Spaniel, and they could be quite lively, can't they? But it's almost like with Auntie Ivy. She was 105 when she died.
Yeah.
But she was 100 and something, and he used to walk up to her with his head bowed and very slowly and gentle, whereas everyone else would be like, hello.
The thing with dogs is they do seem, and with kids as well, because obviously there's a lot of kids around, and they do seem to have a sense of understanding of, if it's a child, that the child might push them and be at their sort of level, and if someone's slightly older, like they're just a little bit more sort of calm with them.
He wasn't always the happiest. He was a grumpy man.
He was eventually he was as well. He wasn't always like that.
When he was about 2, when he did his knee, and he got a little bit grumpy from there.
I think a lot of the time it was hurting him.
But he was fine with the really young kids, wasn't he? It was only when they got a little bit older, or the parents used to be a bit more like...
well, there were certain things you couldn't do with him, and one of them was, because we used to have gates up, because Mum being a childminder...
he'd come up to the gate.
He'd come up to the gate, but you shouldn't... We always knew that you don't lean over at him so that you're coming from above him at him. Because, I mean, my animals, all of them are like that.
You shouldn't really
they have
do
all
that
these
animals.
little bits and pieces. And he'd bark. But if he'd bark, I mean, he was a soppy old thing, but he had a loud bark.
Yeah, it was a powerful bark.
But, I mean, the injury he got was a UCL, wasn't it? No, not a UCL. That's a... old McCage, whatever. It's that's ACL. UFC, I thought only people like... I don't know.
No, UC...
but I thought only footballers got that. And he had all sorts of... He was going to have sort of some aquatherapy and all sorts.
Yeah, he never got the aquatherapy.
No, he never got that. But, as he got old before his time, really, I think. But he was a lovely dog.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I loved that dog to pieces. I really, really did.
Yeah.
And it was so sad because when we did have to have him put down because he had cysts, and one of them dislodged his leg.
Yeah, one had actually that morning that we were doing something. Actually, a lot of us, I think we've alluded to it before when we did the episode on the run, and in the morning he didn't look right, and he was having trouble moving. And I said, look, keep your eye on him. We'll be out for a couple of hours, come back. But by the time we come back, he'd hardly moved, and then he was struggling to even use his back legs.
And it would have been a matter of they couldn't remove the cyst; it was too big. And if he
had a heart issue,
he had a heart issue as well, so they couldn't operate and stuff like that. So if they did put the leg back in place, it would have just popped out again. He was in so much pain that we couldn't really see him going through pain, and he couldn't do other stuff.
Yeah. So very sad. But the thing is with this sort of stuff is you have to sometimes take those decisions. And we'd had a little conversation about it already, about what if you got to a stage, and I think you do with animals, but they become so much part of your life.
Yeah.
And dogs are. I mean, cats are
He did
quite
leave a big
independent.
hole.
He did what, the back garden.
He left a lot of things. He left blood on the skirting boards. He left brown stains.
Isn't
everywhere.
that a song by Sophie Ellis-Bextor?
Baxter?
What did I say?
You said Sophie Ellis Baxter.
Yeah.
Isn't it Dexter?
No.
No, Baxter.
Shut
Interesting.
up.
I don't
Make
know.
me doubt myself, you do.
Oh, my apologies. No, yeah, he had leaky cysts.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, but like I say...
That was an interesting day, wasn't it?
Oh, that was... Don't even go there. But it was like... and I think we'll probably get a dog at some stage again, but cats are so independent, they don't really... I mean, we've laughed about the ones today. They really haven't been awake for very long. They wake up a bit, move around, and go and sit
They
somewhere
wake
else.
up when I get home.
That's because they think you're going to give them a treat. That's
Yeah,
why.
I came in and it was almost like they were protesting the podcast because they just sat in front of me whilst I was getting changed, and they just waited for me to give them treats. Eventually, Maui walks out, but
Yeah, in disgust. Right, anyway. So, we've had a couple of dogs, but I've got some dog facts for you here.
we've had some amazing dogs.
We have. Their sense of smell is at least 40 times better than ours. And they stink, so you'd think that it's obviously their own brand they're okay with. Dogs can sniff at the same time as breathing, so the smell remains in their nose while air passes in and out.
I was thinking circular breathe.
So they can play the didgeridoo.
Play didgeridoo.
That'll be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
See a dog playing a didgeridoo.
Oh, we missed out on that one with Bilbo.
Oh, we could have given that a go because we've got a didgeridoo. We just
We
haven't
do have
got a
a
dog
didgeridoo,
now.
yeah.
So any of you out there
You could have
got
a
a
didgeridoo.
A didgeridoo. Right. This is a fact, right?
These all facts.
But this has blown my mind a bit. Some are so fast that they'd beat a cheetah over distance, right? Greyhounds can reach speeds up to 45 miles per hour, but can sustain that much longer than a cheetah.
I was going to say, cheetahs can do it in
Who
short
can
bursts,
reach
can't
up
they?
to 70 miles per hour, but can only do it for about 30 seconds. So, right, so what they're saying is dogs are faster than cheetahs, but they're not faster than cheetahs because cheetahs can go faster than a dog,
No, look. Okay.
but for longer. So what qualifies
hang on,
that? Go on.
See, you're gonna do a marathon.
Well, this is exactly my point. But my point, by that ruling, I'm faster than a cheetah and a dog because I can run for 26 miles and they can't.
Dogs probably could.
Well, dogs might be able to, but a cheetah wouldn't be able to.
No, so
how
can you read the start of that fact again?
Some are so fast that they'd beat a cheetah over distance.
There you go. There's your key word there. Over distance.
Yeah.
So yes, you would be faster than the cheetah over distance. Yeah. But you're not faster than the cheetah.
Yeah, but surely...
A dog is not faster than a
What you
cheetah,
say-
but over distance they might be.
Okay, so if I said to you, what's the
Not the miniature
fastest
Dachshund
car
from earlier
in
on.
production? You wouldn't say a car that goes 200 miles an hour but can sustain that for 200 miles. You'd say a car
Because
that
it's not in
can
production.
go for 250 miles an hour for whatever time it does it for.
No. So no. So if you're talking about road vehicles and it's going to be in production and they can sustain it for a quite a long time, if you're saying what's the fastest car over 100 miles, then it's going to be the one that can hold its fuel capacity for 100 miles.
Oh, nice.
Pardon
Oh, that
me.
was lovely. That. Thanks for that. No, but then
Apologies.
I'm faster than Usain Bolt.
No, because again, I don't know how far Usain Bolt can run.
No,
But if
he
can run
says by his own admission he wouldn't be able to run a marathon.
well, there you go then. Yeah, you're faster than Usain Bolt at a marathon. Not in a 100
I'm
metre
still
sprint.
confused. So I'm faster than a dog, a cheetah, and Usain Bolt. Excellent.
At a marathon.
Right. Okay.
But not necessarily a dog, because I don't know dogs
All
can
right,
run
good.
marathons.
Right. What I get.
There was
for
a duck that did a marathon, wasn't there?
Was there?
Yeah, it waddled it. So you're faster than a duck in a marathon.
Where was a duck? Did it have an actual number and everything?
Yeah, it did.
You're having me on.
No. What do you want me to say?
I don't know. Dogs only sweat like us in their paws. They have to pant to cool down and produce a pheromone-laden oily substance that we can't detect.
That's why they've got smelly feet.
That's why they got smelly feet. Dogs, like us, can be left or right-handed or pawed, I
Yes.
suppose.
They can. You see them prefer it. A bit like us left or right-footed. when
So
we
if
kick
you
a ball.
go, give me your paw, it will give you the paw that it's normally...
You're trying to put things into too much context. Yeah? So...
If I asked you saying bolt...
No, shut up. if you know when you walk, if you're standing in a stationary position and you start to walk,
Yes.
yeah, what leg do you normally start on?
I don't know.
You normally start on your right. Because you're
maybe.
right-footed, Dad.
I am right-footed when I
Yeah.
played football, yeah.
So you'll start
Well,
on your right.
I could play with both,
Dogs,
but yeah.
again, will similarly start on a particular foot.
Okay. A dog's hearing is super sensitive too. They can hear softer sounds of a different frequency from a greater distance. Their ears have around 18 muscles to control movement, which enables them to do an almost 360-degree sweep. That's excellent. When they,
That's
I mean,
probably
it's
why
not so
Bilbo hated flies, because he could
because
hear
you
them
could hear
well.
them from everywhere. But
Except when he went deaf at the end.
that was a relief for him, I think. This
Or
is
a bit deaf, he
this is a
wasn't fully
good one, considering I've got a grandson, you've got a nephew who's 9 months old now. Dogs are about as intelligent as a human 2-year-old.
So we can say to David, these dogs are smarter than you.
At the moment, and although they are easier to train, like dogs are easier to train than humans. A Day in the Life by the Beatles has a frequency at the end that only dogs can hear. What about that, eh? I was going to have a listen to that, and then I thought, what's the point? 3 dogs
You should
survived
do it when you go to Nottingham.
What, just have it on and see what they do, yeah?
Yeah, just play it to
They
the
start
dogs.
humming along. 3 dogs survived the Titanic sinking. One of these, at least, was disguised as a baby so it could be put on a lifeboat. I think on a lifeboat with its female owner. The female owner disguised it as a baby. I don't think the dog disguised itself as a
dog
baby.
was wearing a moustache.
Little bonnet. Yeah. George Lucas modelled the Ewoks on his family dog. 30% of Dalmatians are deaf in 1 year. 5% in both due to the gene,
Sorry.
which is why they have a white coat and blue eyes.
Deaf in 1 ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said year.
Did I?
Yeah.
All right. This is interesting. Dalmatians with larger spots are less likely to be deaf because it's the pigmentation and that condition, that gene condition, that makes them
I
deaf.
knew a Dalmatian. It was deaf.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know there was a Dalmatian on... we spoke about this on Bilbo's farm.
Oh, was there really?
Yeah, we spoke about this earlier on the podcast.
Oh, I don't remember. Chow
we
chows
said we
and
might have a bit of Dalmatian in him. Do you remember?
yeah, chow chows and Shar-Peis. Isn't that someone in
Sharpay is a character in
high school?
school.
Have black tongues? Did she have black tongue?
No, she's Ashley Tisdale.
The only 2 dog breeds
Bilbo had a black spot on his tongue, didn't he?
he did. Again, I think that's pigmentation, but they have black tongues. No one knows why they've got black tongues.
Imagine it's just the breed.
Yeah, maybe. And dogs have 3 eyelids. Did you know that?
Yes, they have one that goes sideways as well, like a Slovene.
Wow, that's cool, isn't it? A bit freaky.
That's why
Right.
Bilbo used to get the white eyes.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Right. There is an interesting thing that I want to move on to now.
Is
And
it
I've got
interesting for me too?
It will be interesting to you. I want to talk about how dogs have been used by humans for different things. And I've got a little...
What, like a guide dog?
Like a guide dog. So let's play a little sting.
Or a farm dog?
Or a farm dog. We'll come to that. Stop to
Do you
saying
want
all
me to
the...
guess more?
No.
Doggies with jobbies. Doggies with jobbies. Doggies with jobbies.
Oh, what a lovely sting.
Thank you.
You're
I thought you'd
welcome.
like that. Okay, so doggies with jobbies. Let's have a look at this then. Now, we've talked about guide dogs.
You said, let's have a look at this, and then went now, and it almost looked like you're about to move your hand to point at something.
Yeah, I'm going to point at this piece of paper.
That
which
I
I'll
can't
probably-
see.
That you can't see. All right, so
I think you should start doing these presentations.
a presentation.
Yeah.
Well,
So I can see things
okay.
and then describe them.
All right. Okay. Well, let's just talk through these. So we talked about guide dogs for the blind. One that always amazed me. When I worked in at the bank, there was a lady there who was deaf, and there's hearing dogs for the deaf.
Yeah.
I've spelt that DEATH. There wouldn't be much point in that, would there?
It wouldn't, no.
He's dead. He's trying to tell us something. He's dead. His ain't moved for 24 hours. No, hearing dogs for the deaf. So I guess they would alert their owner if the doorbell went or something like that, yeah? Or if there was something of that sort.
Yeah.
And then they'd be able to see it anyway, but they wouldn't be able to hear it. Right. So
Or a
that's
fire alarm.
Oh, fire alarm. Very good. Yeah. So they're ones that I'd particularly thought about, and you see those with people. But what I didn't realise was some of the others. Now, military dogs, obviously military dogs, they've had them as part of the military for years and years and years. I think what's evident is back in sort of World War One, they were used for...
Minesweeping.
Well, they were used for... Well, they probably were, but
There's
used
often
for...
rats used for minesweeping.
Was they really?
No, they still use rats for minesweeping.
See, now this is what's
But
difficult.
they're trained and they can smell them, and there's been
So they
rats
don't
that
get
are really
blown up.
successful at it.
Right. Because basically,
And they're softer foot than a robot.
unless they're cyber rats, in which case, yeah. Anyway, imagine that, cyber rats. So I've lost my train of thought. Military dogs, right? World War One. So World War One, they would not have had such regard for the welfare. God, it's like a body circus over there, isn't it? So
I
they
feel
would
that coming,
send
sorry.
messages with the dogs. I don't know whether they'd say them or they just had them written on the side of them or whatever, right?
Shaved into the
or
fur.
aid for wounded soldiers, but probably was sent into areas where they should never have been sent into. So they were going to get injured or hurt or whatever. And I don't think there was that regard for their well-being back then. And oh my God, what's going on?
Bless me.
So
I'm blessing myself, you're not blessing me.
no, because I'm trying to. You're just exploded over there. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
We've continued to use them. We use them now, or the military certainly use them for guarding their compounds and their bases and whatever. They're used as sniffer dogs, search and rescue through the armed forces and that. But they're very much part of their troop, very well looked after, usually owned by one of the in the military, and you see that in the police as well now. The police dogs will be with an owner, and they're very well looked after. I mean, they obviously send them into difficult situations. They're highly trained. They're intelligent dogs. Anyway, most dogs are very intelligent, just not the ones we've had.
No, Katie was.
Yeah.
Was.
Oh, she was. Yeah. Sorry, Bilbo. But yeah, so they used and to sniff out bombs, and we talked about how good their sense of smell was.
Spaniels were Cocker Spaniels. Used in airports, aren't they?
Well, they are quite a lot because when you
drugs.
yeah, because when you're
And
going
bombs.
on holiday, yeah, and they bring them round. I mean, everybody thinks it's cute, and then they go near your bag, and you think, oh, what happened if
And then
my
they
bag?
sit down.
What happens if my bag sort of brushed against a bag that had something else in it, or whatever like that? Or
It's one of those moments so you've never touched weed in your entire life, but for a split second
you're
you're
frightened
like,
they're going to find
but what
something.
if I've accidentally
what
got
if this
weed?
this isn't my jacket? So what if I change jackets with someone? So
What if in a sleep-like state, I accidentally purchased some weed and put it in this bag?
exactly.
Yeah.
But they've got such good sense of smell. They've talked about now, and I know they were doing this. I mean, there's been talk about the fact that they can smell certain medical problems. So I don't know how they train them, but obviously it's got it. You know, they get them to a position. And I know
Where
diabetics
they can smell cancer as well.
They talk about dogs being able to smell cancer, but they also talk about them being able to recognise and smell blood sugar levels. So if someone's diabetic and they can tell, they can sense through smell when that has dropped to a point where it's dangerous, and they will alert the owner that they need to insulin or whatever they need to do in order to rectify.
And there's dogs that also do stuff like alert, like before someone has a seizure or something like that.
I mean, it's incredible, isn't it? It is incredible to think that. I mean, there's part of me that thinks, would they do it willingly? But you don't tend to see
they just
these
love
days.
their job. They love their job. They don't even get paid for it. They just love it.
No, but they do seem to, you know, you've seen it. As I say, they do looked after. I mean, obviously in the military and police, they will go into areas which will be dangerous, but, you know, they seem to do this.
If they didn't want to do it, they wouldn't do it.
They probably wouldn't do it anyway. But
have you got any more jobs?
They talked about COVID as well, and the fact that at that point as well about looking at dogs being able to recognise that smell.
They got bees that do stuff as well, haven't they?
Have they?
Yeah. I think there's bees that can sniff out drugs as well now.
How do they communicate that back to...
They dance.
They do a little dance.
Yeah, that's how bees communicate, don't they?
I know they do little dances.
I can't remember exactly how it works. But
I know dolphins.
They keep bees in a briefcase.
I know they have dolphins with missiles, don't they? Things.
Anyway, more jobs?
What?
More jobs?
Yeah, jobs. So I'm just going to go through these last ones then. Obviously, you get the farm dogs. So if you see them herding sheep now, I mean, the border collies, they're supposed to be the most intelligent of all the dogs. And you see how they work and how they take commands and what they do. It's incredible. Obviously, you have dogs that pull things. It's not probably more in other areas like the huskies pulling sleds, but other areas of the world that they're still used sometimes as maybe some of the bigger working dogs, or something like you'd see a horse or some cattle doing. You know, they will use them to pull things and push things, or whatever. Obviously, guard dogs is the most obvious one. But the one that, there are lots of places that got guard dogs.
There's a guard dog in the building next door to my work.
Is there really?
Yeah, I was watching us yesterday as we went for a walk.
But the one that I thought was really interesting now is therapy dogs. And there's quite a thing nowadays about mental well-being. And we all know, anybody that's had a pet knows how... Okay, they can stress you out, but at the same time they can be a very, very calming influence on you and be a real positive in your life when you've had a really rough day. And even the stroking of an animal, if stroking of a cat, stroking of a dog, is therapeutic.
I like shoving my face in their bellies.
Right. I don't. Again, this happens quite a lot. I don't know what to say about that. But if that's how you get your kicks, and are you going to sneeze again? Unbelievable.
No, I'm not.
What was that face for then?
Something else.
Was that an impression of you snuggling into
No.
a cat's belly?
No, I blew off.
Oh, for God's sake. Anyway, right. So I just think you see a lot of it now, and even in old people's homes and such, like, you get people that bring animals in. It is such a positive effect. And they're far more appreciated now, I think, than they ever have been in what they can do.
Absolutely. I hear you might have a song for us.
I have. It's a song
What's
for you.
What's it about?
It's about...
Is it about dogs?
It's about dogs. It's about our lovely relationship with dogs and what what effect they have.
As in us specifically?
Not us specifically, no. I was using the royal sort of we there, in like saying that people in general with
dogs. Is that
dogs,
what William's kids do when they go down a slide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play my song.
When you're feeling rough and a little sad, there's a certain someone who'll make you glad. They've got 4 legs and they're covered in fur, but they don't cough up hairballs, incessantly purr. They like to run for miles and miles. They come in many sizes, they bring us smiles. Their nose is wet and they smell a bit, and you spend half your life picking up their shit. But a dog is for life, not just a podcast. A dog is loyal, man's best friend. There's small ones, tall ones, every size imagined. They'll fill your heart, but drive you round the bend. They'll do a smelly fart and then walk away, so everybody thinks it's you. And despite all your denials and gesticulations, there's nothing you can do. When they get a chance, they'll roll in fox poo. It's their version of Chanel number 5. It smells so bad, attacks your nervous system and burns large holes in your eyes. But a dog is for life, not just a podcast. A dog is loyal, man's best friend. There's small ones, tall ones, every size imagined. They'll fill your heart, but drive you round the bend. Here boy, now sit. No, I said sit. Fetch the ball. Fetch the ball. Fetch the fucking ball. But a dog is for life, not just a podcast. A dog is loyal, man's best friend. There's small ones, tall ones, every size imagined. They'll fill your heart, but drive you round the bend. But a dog is for life, not just a podcast. A dog is loyal, man's best friend. There's small ones, tall ones, every size imagined. They'll fill your heart, but drive you round the bend. Friends come round and before you know it, they're humping your best mate's leg. And when they leave, it's like nothing's happened, and they curl up at the foot of your bed.
Game time.
Woohoo! Lovely song.
Thanks very much.
Should we play a game?
Yes, let's play a game.
What is the game? Is it a quiz?
It is a quiz. It's a multiple choice quiz, the ones that you like or don't
Absolute
like, depending on whether you
classic.
get them right or not. Okay, so I've got a dog quiz for you. Play my sting.
Oh, play your sting.
You might own an Akita or a dachshund you've called Peter, or a cockapoo you named after your nan. Are you a perfect owner? Do you give your dog a boner? Do they favour taking treats straight from your hand? What do you know about dogs?
What a lovely sting.
Thank you very much. Okay, dog
You're
quiz. Do you know a lot about dogs?
I know some things about some dogs.
Well, I've got 10 questions for you here.
About dogs.
I wonder how many you'll get right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Should we
there's
see?
only one way to find out.
There will be. Question 1. How many teeth does a dog have? Is it A, 38 teeth, Is it B, 42 teeth? Or is it C, 46 teeth? Did you ever count the teeth of our pets?
No, I've forgotten all 3 of those options.
How have you forgotten that when I said that just now?
Because I was thinking you seemed quieter than you did before.
A, 38 teeth. B, 42 teeth. Or C, 46 teeth.
42.
That is correct. It's B, 42 teeth.
Thank you.
I presume that's all dogs, because that's what it said. That seems weird.
No,
but
some dogs lose their teeth.
Yeah, well, yeah. So do humans, but normally we have a standard amount of teeth, don't we?
Yes.
Yes. Question
How many
2.
teeth does the human have?
What set? I don't know. When we do a quiz about that, I'll answer it. Question 2. What sense?
No, I'll answer it.
Okay, or unless you're doing the quiz. Question 2. What sense are puppies born without? Is it A, sight? Is it B, smell? Or is it C, hearing?
It's A, sight.
That is incorrect. It is C, hearing. They can't hear when they're very first born. They might have their eyes shut, but they can actually see. So I know where you're going with that one, but it's actually hearing.
But they've got their eyes shut, so they can't see.
Yeah, but they can see.
Hang
They
on,
can
hang on.
see the inside of their...
Do something and I'll tell you what you do.
No, but
No.
they... Can you see the inside of your eyelids?
Can you...
Can you see...
Shut your eyes. Shut your eyes.
Yeah. I can see the inside of my eyelids.
Can you see this?
right?
No, shut your eyes. How many fingers am I holding up?
You held it up 2 just now.
No, how many now?
1.
No, 4. Idiot.
Right.
So you can't see.
But my point is, they can still... Just because they haven't opened their eyes...
Can they open their eyes?
Yes.
Can they open their eyes when they're first born?
Yes.
Can they?
Yes, I believe they can. But they can see...
You believe they can?
Look, they can see...
But why
But
don't
they
have
can't
their eyes
hear.
open then?
They haven't got their ears shut. They just can't hear straight away. But they can
Kids are
see.
flapping their ears off.
Right. Question 3.
No, that'd be a better one.
I don't care. Most dog breeds bark, but what does the Basenji breed do instead? Do the Basenji breed or dog laugh, mumble, or yodel? That's A, B, or C. A, laugh, B, mumble, or C, yodel.
B, mumble.
It is in fact C, they yodel. And I looked it up and listened to one. It's hilarious. Question 4. What do Great Danes, or where do Great Danes come from originally?
Scooby-Doo.
Is it A, Germany? Is it B, Denmark? Or is it C, England?
I thought it's going to be a trick one, but Denmark.
That is incorrect.
you go.
It is A, Germany. I don't know why, but it is A, Germany. Question 5. Halfway through already. What do you call a cross between a pug and a beagle? Is it A, a buggle? Is it B, a puggle? Or is it C, a bug pug?
It's a puggle.
It is a puggle. Did you know that, or was
Yes.
that a guess?
I knew that.
There's some interesting ones like that, aren't there? There's some quite dodgy sounding dogs when they crossbreed them.
What, like, I think cockapoo's a funny one.
Cockapoo is quite weird anyway,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. Question 6. Now, you may remember this from
What's
a
the,
previous episode.
What's the one that... Isn't it a Shih Tzu and a poodle? It's a Shih Poo.
Yeah. It's terrible, isn't it? The famous 5 books featured a dog, but what was its name? Now, we ascertained that one of the 5 was the dog, but was that dog called Jeremy?
Hang on, what was the question?
The famous 5 books featured a dog, but what was its name?
Right. A, Jeremy. B,
Was it A, Jeremy, B, Timothy, or C. Thomas?
B. Timothy.
It was B. Timothy. Do you remember that, or was that a guess? 'Cause
Vaguely.
you used to
I was
listen
trying
to
to
those
remember
stories,
it.
didn't you?
I
I
used
think
to
they
read
called
them
him
as well.
Timmy quite a lot.
I used
Huh?
to read them as well.
You used to read them as well. You can read. Wow.
Yeah.
Question 7. We're nearly there. Your painting's nearly over. What was the most common dog name in the UK in 2022? Was it A, Preston? Was it B, Smokey? Or was it C, Mike?
I'm going to try shouting them as if they're dog names. Preston! Preston! Mike! Mike! What was the other one?
Smokey.
Smokey! Smokey! Mike.
It was Mike. Yeah, I didn't think you were going to go for that. The other two are in the top 3 as well, I think. But Mike was the top one. Who calls that dog Mike? Where does that come from?
I don't
How
know,
many people
but
do you know who've
there was
got a dog called
character in
Mike?
Better Call Saul and also Breaking Bad called Mike.
What, a dog?
No, a man.
I've got a brother called Mike. What's your point there?
This is a Mike.
Dear. Yeah. Right. Question 8. In the cartoon Wacky Races, who owned a dog called Muttley? Was it A, Dick Dastardly?
Didn't Muttley go?
No. The one that you say my laugh's like now.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but
All right. Was it A, Dick Dastardly? Was it B, Willie Won't He? Or was it C, Nobby Danger?
Dick Dastardly.
It was. It was
Did you
Dick
enjoy that
Dastardly.
one?
Yeah, I did enjoy that. Thanks. Right, penultimate.
Ah,
I can't speak
penultimate.
tonight. Penultimate question.
Been a long day, innit?
It has been a long day. Question
Been a bit of
9.
work.
What was the name of Doc Brown's dog in the film Back to the Future? Was it A, Socrates? Was it B, Einstein? Or was it C, Nemo?
B. Einstein. Final answer.
Final answer?
Yeah.
It was Einstein, yes.
Because in my head, I was thinking Max, but Max is the Grinch's dogs. Max!
No, it's quite because he named a lot of things after different people. So that's why I put Socrates, and obviously he's famous for his favourite author was Jules Verne, so that's why I put Nemo in there.
What? Because he wrote Finding Nemo.
Captain Nemo,
Oh, right.
Finding Nemo. You're an idiot. Question 10. Thank God for this. This is the last question. Who had a hit song and album titled Diamond Dogs? Was it A, Snoop Dogg? Was it B, Iggy Pop and the Stooges? Or was it C, David Bow Wowie?
Was it Snoop Dogg by any chance? Because
No.
I didn't know the answer.
No.
Is it Iggy Pop?
No. It's David Bowie. But I just said Bow Wowie.
So none of them.
It's David Bowie.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I know I said
you said-
David Bow Wowie, but it's just because it's about dogs, this one.
you didn't say David Bowie, so I didn't know which one it was
All
going
right,
to be.
sorry. Was it A, Snoop Dogg, B, Iggy Pop and the Stooges, or C, David Bowie?
David Bowie.
Yes. Well done.
Thank you.
And that is the end of my little dog quiz.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No.
It's been an
Thank
absolute
you.
pleasure. So, that's another one in the bag.
Yeah.
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 What are we doing next week?
It's St. George's Day next week, so we're doing St. George's Day.
Excellent. I
It
look
was,
forward to that.
It's an interesting one, this one, because we've had to record it midweek
We have, yes.
because you're going away at the weekend.
Yes.
And I don't actually know when we're going to record the next one, but we'll get it done.
We will get it done. It won't be a problem.
It won't be a problem at all. But that was fun, Dad. Thank you for that.
That's all right. Thank you.
I enjoy dogs. I hope to have one day again.
Yeah, so do I. When the time is right, they can be an absolute wonderful
I don't
addition
think
to your
Maui would
family.
want you to have one though.
No, Maui really freaks out when your sister brings her dogs. Moana's okay about it, but Maui certainly isn't.
'Cause I
He
can see
goes off
you
on
and
his
Mum-
holidays for a couple of days, doesn't
Yeah. See you and Mum having a little dog when
When we retire. Oh,
when
God.
you're really tired.
I'd love to retire, yeah. And we did talk about perhaps me doing dog walking. I think what thing I need to do after this is go to sleep because
I
I'm
think you do.
struggling to talk at the moment. Is dog walking for a job.
Is it Friday you go away?
It is Friday I go away, yes.
Just keep track. That's more for my knowledge, not for everyone listening.
Yes.
Um,
Don't forget any ideas. Just because I'm away, other people are here. So don't come around here when I'm not here, because other people are here defending my house.
what
So,
are you talking about for when we have that party?
yeah, when you have your party, yeah.
Yeah.
Another party.
It's all right. You would have done the marathon by the time this goes out.
I'll be having a kind of party, one of those where you're half asleep but very pleased. Hopefully it'll go all right and I'll get round it. I did look at the route today, a little video on YouTube of the route, and I didn't really understand the accent, but it looked really nice and I'm kind of looking forward to it. But there we go.
Well, if you want to send us a message,
Yes.
then you can do so on the website, fatherandsundays.com, and then go to the contact page. Or you can email us at contact@fatherandsundays.com. But the website's a great place. All the episodes are available on there, but you can also listen on your chosen podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or something else. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, like, follow, share those. Yes.
Great.
That's it.
All right. Okay then. Goodbye.